Yo, what's up, everybody? So today I will talk about the new meta that we're getting in the new batch in solo leveling Rise. Now the new batch will be live within 2 days from now. So I'll give you tips about what we're going to expect and what we can prepare from now based on the new meta that we're getting in the game. Now, the current meta, which pretty much the element that has the advantage in the end game content in the game. For example, if we take a look at Baran, the current weakness is Dark and Wind. The other end game content in the game is the battlefield of trials. And if we look at the elemental advantage as well, it is wind. And for the hunters, it is the dark element, as we can see right here. Now, let's talk about the battlefield of trials first, so I can give you a good idea about what's going on. So, for example, right now, the current elemental weakness, the element that has advantage, is the dark. And the element where the boss have passive against that element is wind. So what happened is when we have element with weakness advantage, like dark, for example, right now, the next season, this element will be the passive boss skill, which means the boss will have resistance against the dark. The same thing will apply for Sanji. So the bosses will have resistance against wind, which means weapon like the Demon King dagger won't be valuable in the new battlefield of trials. Now, based on what those elements that we're getting, so I tell you, based on what? Based on what we have on the gacha. For example, we have right now Ayla. Ayla is dark element, so the new meta in the battlefield of trials is the dark. What's the newest weapon here? As you can see, I'm able to get a new weapon if I can even do summon or two by using essence, whatever. But I'm waiting for the new weapon. That's why I'm telling you from now, don't waste your summons because the new weapons always matter. So the current latest weapon as of right now is the Demon King dagger. The Demon King dagger has wind element, which means we will have the wind advantage on the battlefield of trials. I think it's very simple to understand this way. So this is how it works. The element that we have for Sanjin Wu and the element that we have for the hunters, most of the times it is different element, but the case is going to be different in the next update since we getting a new hunter, Thomas Andre, and Thomas element is light. And we also getting the new stuff that we have seen in the live stream, which also light element. I can tell you 99.9% the new meta in both of hunters and players is the light. Now, what we can do, since we know that the new meta is the light, which means if they add a new content, which they will do, which will be probably harder than the workshop of Brilliant Light, will have uh, elemental weakness against light. So what we can do to get ready for this? So there is actually a couple of things that we can do to be ready when the batch arrive. So in terms of hunters, we can see here, the new meta will be obviously Thomas Andre. Thomas will be very valuable. So getting him is really going to benefit your account. However, what's the other options that we have? Because I know not everybody is going to get Thomas in the first day. I know most of you will do, but there are some who won't get Thomas in the first day. And even if you got Thomas in the first day, the team for Thomas could be, could have many differences. So I can tell you, Gogan he will be always there in the team. Now it's optional between Minpyong and Shaheen to choose one of them in the team. Shaheen will give more DBS, and this one will give more support. And honestly, the overall performance will depend on Thomas Andre scaling and the play style. So this is something we have to keep in mind. Now, if you only have Goganhi, if you just someone who just started playing the game, invested too much on Goganhi, instead of the burning course, sorry, burning grid, you can actually use the burning course in Goganhi, but of course he scales of defense, so you must get artifacts that has a lot of defense. Uh, so Goganhi could work as a DBS or as a breaker. So the set the grid is good for supporting. So to everybody get idea about what's going on. This set enhance your crit rate and crit damage when you get 8 pieces, as we can see here. Increase the user and their team members crit rate by 15% and crit damage by 30%. Now, this only activates when you hit the target um, 10 times. So this buff won't activate immediately. You need to hit the boss for a certain period of time to activate this buff. So that's something you can keep in mind. As I said for Gogani, if you don't have any other strong DBS for light, you can use course on Gogani. We talked about men. It's a very obvious option for men. Shaheen, I believe, will still be very valuable in the next update. I hear a lot of talk about this. Thomas gonna power creep Shaheen, and I believe this won't happen. uh, Thomas will be good and will have his uses, but Shaheen will be useful as well. Keep in mind, guys, Shaheen is the first rate up character we have got in the game, and she's still valuable until this moment. In the guild boss, Shaheen is still the highest DBS in term of overall performance in the guild boss until this day, the top DBS, and she's the first uh, hunter that we got in the game as a rate up hunter, and this is something we should respect. We should show respect to developer for keeping such things. In most of the gacha games that I've played before, like Genshin Impact or any other game, when when we get character and long after long period of time pass, there will come other character that will power creep the previous one. But hopefully this won't be the case for Soul Leveling Rise. Hopefully we see some buffs to other hunters that not doing really well. And probably the most hunter that need buff, I believe, is Dong Su. uh, this dude already got power creep in the day of Melon release. He was supposed to have a very special ability, which is Q. This ability, this skill has the ability to remove the shield, but we got Melon, and Melon has the ability to do the same thing and better than him. So this is the first power creep the dude got. The second thing, his DPS wasn't good to start with, and with the release of Mary, the DPS monster, this dude is pretty much useless. He has no use in the game. There is nothing he can do it better than any other unit in the game. So I believe Dong Su deserves some love from the developers. Anyway, let's back to our topic and how we can prepare for the new meta. And now we're going to talk about Sanji Wu. So for Sanji Wu, since we know that the dark is the new meta, the light is the new meta, we have to focus on two things: his weapon and his skills. In terms of artifacts, there is nothing you can do in 2 days, so let's not lie at ourselves about that. If you got something good for Sanji Wu, that's cool, but it's impossible to get something within 2 days, right? But in case of the skills, you can actually do something about it. And let's talk about the most important skills that we should try to upgrade from now. Now, the most important one, in my opinion, is this one, the double down. This skill is really, really good. This skill has really good damage. And when you hit an enemy that doesn't have a break gauge, the damage increased by 160% for 7 seconds. Now, if you have the legendary version, I believe this is going to be 250. You know what? Let me actually confirm that because I don't want to give any false information. And I don't have the legendary version myself. So, where's the double down? Double down, there we go. 240, not 250, 240. A very, very strong skill. What you can actually do is upgrade or level up those skills, which the Sonic Stream skills. They are extremely good skills, and I've already talked about which the most important skills to upgrade. So upgrading the Sonic Stream is extremely valuable now. You should try to level it up. It deserves to be plus 10. I'll make it plus 10 very soon once I get the enough resources to do that. It's plus 9 right now, so 16 overall. So this is the first skill. The other skill, I don't think it deserve a lot of upgrades because it's not really the upgrades for this one isn't really that crazy, but it's gonna be really, really good. A very good break. The duration is not long, and you also become invincible when using this skill, which means you're taking no damage. I really like this skill. So one of the other options is this one. There is this break skill as well, and it gives a very, very good buff, which crit damage buff by 50% for 12 seconds, which decent amount of time. 12 seconds, it's really, really good amount of time, and 50% crit damage is really, really good buff. This, I believe, is the most important ones. There is also this one, but so far, the damage isn't really, really that impressive for me. But maybe because it's just a blue. Let me actually check the legendary version because I believe like that. I believe this skill has the potential to do a lot of damage. The only problem is the tree itself isn't really, really good to upgrade. But anyway, this skill is something good. Yeah, 60%. The 600%. This is big. Yeah, this one is definitely good if you have it. Epic or sorry, heroic version or legendary version. This about the skills, the most important one, but as I said, the most important one that you really need to focus on is the double down from the Sonic Stream. Now let's talk about his weapons. So far, there's only two options we can start with, which the Demon Knight Spear and the Huntsman. Huntsman is one of those weapons that really deserve uh, buff because the damage so far isn't really that crazy from this weapon. Beside the huntsman, as I said, there is the demon knight spear. I'm not going to talk about the huntsman so much because uh, it's not something you can actually get within those 2 days. However, you can start working on the Demon Knight Spear. The reason why I'm saying that, because this weapon will be useful even when we get a new weapon. Why? Because this weapon has the best AoE ability among any weapon we see here. So if you make it A5 and hopefully to A10, this one will have a good use. Even though the new weapon that we're getting, the Son Goku staff, Nyoibo, uh, will surely deal more damage than the Demon Knight spear, 100%. It will deal more damage than this one, but this one will be better for clearing monsters like dungeon gates. What else? You know, in some situations in the battlefield of time, this one could be helpful. So this one will have his uses, and this weapon's still worth upgrading, still worth to buy from the guild merchant, as we can see. Yeah, takes forever to load. Um, So here in the guild merchant, this one deserve to buy it every single week until you make it a 10. And trust me, it's worth to make it a 10. That's the thing that I highly advise to start with. Now, I almost covered everything, but let me give you some extra tips. If you got some wishes right now on the custom banner or in the weapon banner, as you can see, I probably can get my weapon really soon. But we probably getting new codes within the next 2 days. So there is a high possibility to get a lot of summons before the update. Don't use your summons because, especially if you are someone playing the game for a long time as me, it's better to have the new weapon than getting something else. So, for example, my setup will be the new staff and the Demon King dagger. I also will add the new staff here. I will replace one of those. Probably I will replace Hansimi like this, or maybe Yosayon. But I believe Yosayon will get buff really soon because her damage is still not on the level where she deserves to be, because she's like the only real fire DPS that we have right now in the game, and her damage isn't really that great. Whenever we have content with fire weakness, uh, I don't feel like I'm efficient as when the instance has weakness against other elements. I feel the fire always behind. So yeah, this is my main tips. I actually do. I advise you to not do summons, but I do it myself. Because you know what? I know it's impossible to get something. That's why. That's the only reason I'm doing this. So, as I said, I know 99% I'm getting nothing. That's why I don't bother with it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you like the video, let me know in your opinion about the new update in the comment section down below. Like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to support me in the Knit Marble supporter program, as it helps me a lot, guys. I appreciate every single support, every like and comment. And I really would like to see what's the biggest struggle you're facing in the game, because I've tried um, to help friends on new accounts. They just started to playing the game, and I found a lot of other troubles that the new players that started recently facing, like the SSR weapons for hunters and things like that. There's a lot of struggles that they are facing right now. So share me your opinions. I would love to hear it from you guys. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.